With the release of Jack Ryan Ghost War, I'm going to rank all 11 Jack Ryan projects from my least favorite to my favorite. This will include all the Jack Ryan movies, of which there are 2 Harrison Fords, a Ben Affleck, a Chris Pine, an Alec Baldwin, and one that is not a Jack Ryan movie, but it's a Tom Clancy movie, Without Remorse, starring Michael B. Jordan, and then and a movie with John Krasinski, obviously the one that we're all here for. And then the 4 seasons of the Jack Ryan show, also starring John Krasinski. And then hopefully tomorrow, whenever this is released, I will be ranking all 5 actors to play Jack Ryan. But let's just start out at number 11. My least favorite Jack Ryan project, or Tom Clancy project, is The Hunt for Red October. This is the first one released. It stars Alec Baldwin and Sean Connery. James Earl Jones is in here, Sam Neill, Scott Glenn. It was incredibly boring to me. I don't like Alec Baldwin as an actor either, and as him being Jack Ryan, I really wasn't a big fan of this version of Jack Ryan. I think that Sean Connery was fine. He's one that, like, there were movies that I like him in, and there was ones that I don't. This is one that, like, I'm not the biggest fan of. I like him in Indiana Jones. I haven't seen James Bond. Ministry of Nope, that's Guy Ritchie. He was in, like, a superhero movie that I thought was fine. But anyway, I don't really remember much about it. I'm not going to remember much about some of these movies because for a good chunk of them, I haven't watched them in a little while, but this one, I just wasn't a fan. It's the only one to be PG, but in that time, I think PG might have meant PG-13, so whatever. But Hunt for Red October is my least favorite. I know some people are probably going to dislike that because I think that for the general consensus, it's a relatively loved movie, but not to me. In number 10 is another one that I think people might be a little bit mad at, is Jack Ryan Season 1, the first season of the show with John Krasinski. I'm happy that I finished the show because the last couple seasons will be up way higher, but when I first watched it, I was just like, oh, I don't know if I want to continue, just because, like, it wasn't my thing. Like, Jack Ryan, and I haven't watched it in a while, but Jack Ryan wasn't in it as much. Like, he was in every episode, but barely. And it was just, like, there were some episodes where it felt like he got, like, 2 minutes of screen time, and I'm not a big fan of stuff like that. I know some people probably are, where, like, the main character has screen time, but, like, maybe not as much, and he is just, like, the central guy who gets some information and everything. But when I watch something and there's a main character, I would like for that person to be the one who has the most screen time because they're the main character. And the show definitely fixes that in the later seasons. But just for me, like, that was a problem I had with it. And the bad guy of the season wasn't exactly my favorite. I just did not like him at all. And obviously it's like a villain, but, like, they spent a lot of time with him, and I was not a fan of him at all. So as a season, it just wasn't my favorite. I would like to try and attempt to watch it again, see if I can like it a little bit more. But as for now, it's my second least favorite project of Jack Ryan. In 9th place is Clear and Present Danger, the movie with Harrison Ford. And these next 3, I would say, are all, like, here and there. Like, for right now, like, this one's above that one, which is above this one. But I don't really have, like, for these 3, like, a clear ranking. Like, I would like to rewatch Clear and Present Danger, and then the next one as well, just because, like, to see if I like them a little bit more or what not. So maybe I should have done that before making the ranking. But I am watching a good chunk of other stuff, and I just wasn't able to fit these things in. But I should be watching these soon enough. But Clear and Present Danger, I would say that the last 2 that we talked about are ones that I would say are, like, bad. At least for now, like, I think they're kind of bad projects. this is the start of ones that I would recommend. I think that Clear and Present Danger I would recommend. Like, it is a good movie. Harrison Ford is great. And in this one, he gets appointed as the CIA deputy director, well, acting. And he has to investigate the murder of a president's friend, and just kind of like the journey that he goes on in this one is really good. One second, is it this one or is it the other one? Yeah. It probably goes on a bit too long. I know that like spy thrillers and everything like this like sometimes have longer run times, but like as a movie and everything, one that doesn't like have like a bunch of action, like I thought that it could have been a little bit shorter. But this version of Jack Ryan with Harrison Ford is a really good one, and honestly, I think that Harrison Ford is a really good actor. Lately, as a person, he might not be the best, but I think as an actor, like, he's always been good. I've always liked him. He's one of my favorite parts of the original trilogy of Star Wars. Indiana Jones is good because of him. And just like everything he's in, I think he's a pretty good addition. And as Jack Ryan, I think that he was a really nice Jack Ryan. And as a sequel to Patriots game, it was a nice sequel. Number 8 is Jack Ryan Season 2. So like this, Clear and Present Danger are kind of like this, and then the next one's also kind of in that rotation. But Season 2, I thought, was a improvement on Season 1, mostly because Jack Ryan had a bit more to do. I still think that he was probably shortchanged just a little bit, but I think that they definitely like ironed out that kink mostly for Season 1. I think that Wendell Pierce's character is really good. Greer. I think that Michael Kelly's character is really good, and he's like a nice little introduction here. Naomi Rapace is in this, and she wasn't like my favorite character, but I thought she was a pretty good addition. And the plot of the season is definitely better than Season 1. But there is a bad guy who is escaping my mind if he's the main bad guy, or if he is just like this one guy who kind of is after Ryan for a little bit and then he gets taken out. But there was something involving his character that didn't last long. It was only in like an episode or something, but I thought it was incredibly stupid. And just like as a whole, it still has a little bit of what I didn't like about Season 1, where Jack Ryan definitely has more to do, but at the same time it felt like he was a little bit shortchanged as well, but not as much as Season 1. So I appreciate for that. And as a whole, from what I can remember, I think that Season 2 is a good addition to the Jack Ryan mythos, and one that I would recommend. Number 7, the last in these 3 that I would say are like relatively around each other, is Sum of All Fears. Sorry, I don't know what that was. Sum of All Fears. This is the Ben Affleck Jack Ryan movie that also stars Morgan Freeman, and it deals with them trying to stop a war with Russia. And for the most part, I thought it was a pretty good movie. I watched this one for the first time the past like week and a half or so. It went on a little bit too long. I think that Morgan Freeman was really good. I think that Ben Affleck was really good as Ryan. He is not the best Jack Ryan, but I thought he was a good Jack Ryan. And I think that Ben Affleck as an actor is just really good. It's just like, was he a bit like out of cast for Jack Ryan? I mean, probably. I saw like talk about it, and they discussed him as like being too pretty boy for the role. Like in the time that he did it, like he was more so like that pretty boy of movies instead of being like this guy that you can see doing action. And I guess there's a little bit that I can agree with that, but at the same time, I also am just like, I don't know. I mean, he does it well enough. But as I said, it does go on a little bit too long. I think that once the bomb drops in the later half, is definitely when the movie like really picks up. But I think that everything before then is fine. But like as a whole, Good movie, recommend it, but I can definitely see it going a little bit down when I rewatch like season 2 and Clear and Present Danger. And then number 6, I would say is definitely like a number 6, but there is a chance I can also see this going down a bit, but like not a big chance. Like there's a chance that season 2, when I rewatch it, might be a bit better. There's a chance that Clear and Present Danger might be a bit better, but like from what I remember, those probably might stay. But I'm saying there's like a small chance, whereas like with Summer of All Fears, there's a bit more of a big chance. Number 6 is Tom Clancy's Without Remorse. This is the one that doesn't have Jack Ryan, but stars, not in stars, Michael B. Jordan, and it's a revenge story where this guy's wife and child are killed, and he goes on this journey to figure out who did it and take them all out. I also watched this around the time I watched Sum of All Fears, so it's a little bit newer on the brain, but I thought it was actually pretty good. I think that Michael B. Jordan is a really good actor. I haven't seen like a bunch with him, so I want to try and fix that because I do like his acting. And he's really believable in this type of role. I thought that Guy Pearce, who was also in this, was really good. I really like him as an actor. Jamie Bell is in this. He played the Thing in everyone's favorite movie, Fan Four Stick. I thought he was fine in this. He wasn't like a big part. The action was really fun. The story and like all the twists and stuff were really well done. There was one like of the big bad that I could see coming because it's just like, okay. But I thought it was done really well, and it was just a nice watch. I think that what holds this back a little bit is just like, I've seen this type of story done better, like a revenge story and everything, like Terminalist, better. American Assassin is better. And it's like, I've seen the story before done better, but I've seen it probably done worse, and even if I haven't seen it done worse, it's a really good story, so it's not going to be, like, bad. And it's not exactly, like, a Jack Ryan thing, so that also holds it back a little bit on, like, this ranking. It's just, like, this is a Jack Ryan ranking, and this one doesn't have Jack Ryan. But even with that being said, it's right in the middle of the pack. There's 5 over it, and there is 5 under it, so it's, like, the one that cuts off the 5 and 5. Coming in at number 5 is Patriots Game, the first Harrison Ford Jack Ryan movie. It's a little bit under 2 hours, which I think is really nice runtime. Even if it was a little bit over 2 hours, that would be nice. It's just that Clear and Present Danger was like 2 hours and 20-ish minutes, and like I just think that's a little bit too long for like a movie like this. I think that right under 2 hours is a nice little spot, and that's what this was. But I think that I think this one is a really nice movie, and it obviously introduces you to the version of Harrison Ford who is in Clear and Present Danger. I think that the story is nice, and I don't really have as much to say about it as Clear and Present Danger, but like I do like it more than Clear and Present Danger, at least for now. And like even if I had rewatched them, there's always a chance I come back to it later and it's like, oh, I like this one more than that and everything. So that's why I say for now and everything. But anyway, Patriots Game was a nice addition to this version of Jack Ryan. It's a nice introduction. It's a nice inclusion to like the universe of Jack Ryan, and it's definitely my favorite movie that was released before like 2010. But the next one I like a little bit more, number 4, is Jack Ryan's Shadow Recruit. This is the Jack Ryan movie starring Chris Pine. And I feel like I like this one a little bit more just because it is a newer movie, so it's a little bit more streamlined or newer, where you've got the Jack Ryan stuff like the analyst, the spy stuff, but they also have a little bit of action put in there. And not saying that the Harrison Ford movies don't have action, but and it's not like this one has like a bunch, but I just feel like this one like was a little bit more my thing. But I thought it was really good. I really like Chris Pine as an actor, and I thought he did really good as Jack Ryan. This is basically like the Jack Ryan origin story, where in all the other ones, like, you know about his backstory because they talk about it. It's like, oh, this guy used to be in the military and then something happened. Now he's an analyst. But this one is the one that like kind of gives you the origin story, where it's like it shows you the mission of how he got out of the military, and then it's showing him become an analyst and all that. And I thought it was really good. I thought that the plot line was really nice. It's kind of weird that for a good chunk of them, it seems, or at least it just seems like some of them, more than you would think, are like, oh, we gotta stop like this bomb or something. But I thought that how they did it was really nice. The director is the guy who directed Thor, Kenneth Branagh, and I liked his directing. And he also was in this as one of the characters, and I thought he did pretty good. Keira Knightley is in this, and I thought she was pretty good. It was a bit weird hearing her like talk American and without an accent, because I think the only other things I've seen her in is the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, and it's just like, oh, she doesn't sound like Elizabeth Swann. And then I can't think of his name, but the guy from Superman, Man of Steel, who plays Henry Cavill's version's dad, I can see his face. Just give me a minute. He's in Field. Kevin Costner is in this, and I'm not a big fan of him as an actor. So him being in this, like, I was just like, yeah, I don't really care. That being said, he's not like a big part, so it's fine. But I was just like, whatever. But I thought that it was a nice movie. I watched this after Sum of All Fears, so within like a week or so, and it quickly became like my favorite Jack Ryan movie up until then. But we have yet to get to my favorite movie. And before we get to that, we will do number 3, which is Jack Ryan Season 4. I thought that the last 2 seasons of Jack Ryan were obviously much better than seasons 1 and 2. Season 4 I thought was nice. All the other seasons are 8 episodes. This is 6 episodes. And the one thing that holds it back a little bit is that even with 6 episodes compared to the 8 episodes, it did feel at times like it was going on a bit too long. And some of that could be because I think the run times for the episodes were a little bit longer. But like as a whole, like I thought it was a really good season. And this is like one of the 2 seasons of the show that I'm like, I would like to rewatch those more than once. Obviously, John Krasinski as Jack Ryan's awesome. You've got Michael Kelly returning, and he's great in these seasons. Wendell Pierce is really good, and Michael Pena shows up as a new cast member, and I really liked him. It would have been kind of cool if he showed up in the movie, but he didn't, and that's fine. And there was a scene at the beginning that started with a scene of Jack Ryan like being tortured, and then it cuts later, and then you figure out, and then it like leads up to those events a couple episodes later, and I don't know why, but I just really liked that. I thought it was really cool, and that did keep me invested because it's like, oh, I want to know how that happens. And then just the way they wrap up the season and the series as a whole was really nice. Obviously, we do got the Ghost War movie that wrapped it up, which will be coming in a second. But I thought that like wrapping up these 4 seasons was a really nice wrap up. Number 2 is our newest edition, Jack Ryan Ghost War. I thought that this was a really nice movie. It had some really fun action. John Krasinski's great. Wendell Pierce, Michael Kelly. It's really nice seeing these characters return. It's a nice little send-off, because I think this is a send-off. I mean, they might make a couple more movies, but if not, as a send-off, I think it's a nice send-off for these characters, and just being able to see these characters one last time in a movie in a new mission was nice. And this movie really hinges on Wendell Pierce's character and his backstory, and I thought that the way they handled that was a really, really nice way of handling it, and just as a whole, like, it's a really solid movie, and for 2026, it's one of my favorite movies so far. It'll probably be knocked down a little bit, but by the end of it, it's going to be a really good movie that it might not end up in my top 10, it might be in my top 10, but even if it's not, it's a really good movie. And I do hope we get some more from these characters, just because if I like characters, I want to see them as much as possible. And these ones are no different. I would like to see these characters more. And even if we don't, I thought it was a nice send-off, and it leaves them off in a place that's just like, even if we don't see more, we know kind of where they end up, and I like that. But coming in at number 1 is Jack Ryan Season 3. After the first 2 seasons weren't my favorite, I went into this not really knowing what to expect. I expected it to be better than season 1, and if we continued off the train of season 2 being better than season 1, I thought it would be a bit better than season 2. But it was an incredible season. I think that this season is phenomenal. It's also my favorite season of the show. It's my favorite Jack Ryan project. It's just, it really took the show to a new place. And you get Jack Ryan like on the run in this season because of some of the events that go on. Like he ends up on the run, and I thought that was really cool. It's got some really good humor, really nice story, really nice action. There is a scene where Jack Ryan's running away from people, and Michael Kelly's there, and he's like eating, and Jack Ryan's just kind of like, dude, what are you doing? And it was really funny. And then Michael Kelly's reaction, I'm like, ah, crap. It's really funny. I would like to brush up on it again because I don't really like fully remember everything, but there are things that I just love about it. And then like the last little bit of it where you get them like going to a tunnel trying to stop these people in an airplane, helicopter, and everything is really cool. And it's like my favorite season of the show. And for now, it's my favorite season of Jack Ryan, my favorite project of Jack Ryan. And unless a future movie is just incredible, I really don't see this being topped because I just thought that this season was phenomenal. I give it a 4 out of 5. I can see when I rewatch it like being a 4.5 out of 5. Same thing with Ghost War. Like I can see both of those moving up. But it's an incredible season of television, and I'm just happy that I can say now that John Krasinski's version of Jack Ryan has more projects good than bad. Now, it's 3 and 2, but it's one more. But season 3 is definitely my favorite season, and just incredible. But with that being said, that is the end of my ranking. Tell me your ranking of all 11 projects or the 10 Jack Ryan projects if you want to leave Without Remorse out. But I would like to include that. But if you don't, just tell me your ranking of Jack Ryan stuff, and then I will have one more video for Jack Ryan. I will be ranking the 5 Jack Ryans. It won't be that long. Yeah, that's my ranking, and I will see you for the next one, and then whatever is after that. So, see you then.